Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Bruce Gombrelli. It's been a while since I've done a video. So I'd like to go over the Joker. So this is an interesting wiring scheme. This particular one has what's called a warp drive in it. So a warp drive is a power shifter, but it's got complete tonal qualities to be able to change the bass, change the treble, or to go straight out with no tone effects or loading whatsoever. So this particular one is a souped up MIM player, but it doesn't have player pickups. The neck has been rolled and all that. This is one that's going to be released, but the pickguard is kind of what I'm focused on today. And so this has a power shifter in it. That's what warp drive is, but the warp drive has all this tonal ability built on top of it. So for those of you who haven't experienced the power shifter, it's a really great circuit. I use it on a lot of different models, and what it does is it creates series arrangements, and it also has the ability to create parallel arrangements as well. So just to kind of run through this a little bit, this one's got two deluxe drive pickups, rather high output. It's also got, unusually, but one of my favorites is that Seymour Duncan quarter pounder. So that made a good blend with the other two pickups, and so it kind of just went together really well. So if you listen to the neck, so this is all going to be stock switching to start with, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out tone 1, which is going to be straight out, so there's going to be no loading. So that's the neck to pick up full on, and I go to the bridge. And beautiful strong tone, sounds great. The middle pickup's going to be a little bit different because the DCR is much different than the neck. Okay, so now we want to take, of course, we got positions 2 and 4. That's normal for Strat. That'll give you that super cutting Stratish kind of sound. Okay, so going back to the neck, I'm going to leave this on direct out without any tone. So, and I'm going through currently this Princeton reverb amp down here, no effects or anything. So with the dual Stratbucker part of this, so when I kick in that dual Stratbucker, the neck gets really higher output, shifts the frequency down, and it becomes a lot warmer. Very, very much like a humbucker, because it's essentially 2 coils. This is reverse wound, so because of that, it bucks hum. Then when you go into the bridge, like, you know, this is your standard kind of bridge bitey sound. A lot of nice chunky bottom to it, but you put this in and you're going to be in series. Now it's going to be even fatter. Now that might be a little too much, where the bass control comes in, but anyway, a lot of bottom. Not quite as tight, but remember, with any of these switching, you can use pedals and you can craft the sound. So you might want to use the pedal for certain switching and not use it for others. So if you want this big bottom and you want to scoop it with pedals, you can do that. Okay, cool. So I'll kick in the what's called a span control. What that does is going to put these in parallel, and it adds in bass to this pickup, and it adds treble to this one. It's got a nice sound too, but it's got that little cutty Strat sound to it too. Cool. tone a little bit. So I'll push this down. Now the tone will kick in. Now this is interesting because I got two different amps here. This is the reverb. It's on the floor. It's going to have a lot of bottom compared to this vibro champ, which is going to have more mids to it. And it affects what you might want to do with it too. You know, if you got this monstrous Marshall with these nice 12s, I mean, you could get a crazy bottom out of that thing, but it might be too much if you're going in two series. So when we kick it in now, we still have top end, but we got a lot of bottom. So what I can do, I can dial back that bass just a little bit. Cool. Now, if we want to pull the top end off a little bit, we can do something similar. So there's the position 2. So maybe I want to bring that in and roll it down. Now it's got two different tones. It's got a .022 and then it's also got a .0068, which is lower than woman's tone. Now you pull it out. Much different. It softens the volume a little bit, and it's also going to pull out some of that bitey treble. All right, so let's bring the bass up. And pull it out and we get full bore. And position 2 got that nice spank down to it, and also there's 4 as well. All right, that's all for this guitar. Bruce Gombrelli, Gombrelli Guitars USA. This is Warp Drive. Based on the PowerShifter series. So appreciate your time, and hopefully you'll find one of these guys that just you're gonna have a blast with it. The beauty of these Pickguards too is with all the tone, all the switches off, you're gonna have that stock Strat sound that everybody knows and loves. You can always go back to that with just pulling in a few switches, and that's the way I like to design them. So when you're in a studio stage, bam, you're back to those sounds that you're so familiar with, and then when you start using the switches, you can get all this other palette of sounds. Okay, have a great one. Bruce Gombrelli, Gombrelli Guitars USA. Have a good one.